First off, thank you very much for coming out tonight. My name is Fred Litwin. I'm the president of the Free Thinking Film Society. We're in for a great evening tonight on what I'm sure is your favorite Prime Minister, and mine. Tonight is our last event until the fall. So we're going to take the summer off. We typically use the summer months to program our film festival, which this year will be October 31st to November 3rd, right here at the Library and Archives Canada. But we will start having events in September. So our first event in September will be September 9th. On September 9th, we're going to show the film that I've talked about before. It's a film on the Holocaust. And it's a film that has taken Poland by storm. This is a story, true story, about a small town in Poland during the Second World War, during the Holocaust, when the Jews were herded up in their village into a synagogue, and the synagogue was burnt to the ground. But it wasn't done by the Nazis, it was done by the Poles. And when this first came out in book format several years ago, of course, it caused a firestorm, and they've now made the first major motion picture about this incident, and it was, again, another firestorm in Poland. And so we're going to have the Canadian premiere of this film on September 9th. Later in September, we're going to have two events in September. So on September 24th, we're going to be teaming up with a partner to have an event on free speech on Canadian campuses. It's a massive topic. If you were here a few months ago, we showed this great film called Schools Out, about identity studies, political correctness at universities. So we wanted to follow this up with an update, and this will be a yearly thing we hope to do every September with our friends out in Calgary, an update on what the latest trends are on free speech in universities. Now, I just have to take a few minutes to share with you something that I found quite amusing. If you were here for our presentation on political correctness in the schools, you'll know I started off with talking about postmodernism, the fact that there's a lot of junk being taught at universities these days. Jargon, stuff that you just can't understand. And this weekend, my friend Terry Glavin sent me an email. The University of Victoria is having, a 50th anniversary, a big anniversary party this past weekend, and they had all sorts of seminars and courses they were offering, and he sent me a list of some of the courses. He said, and he lives in Victoria, he said, I won't be attending, I can't go to any of this stuff. But I thought I should read you some of these courses that they were offering this weekend to celebrate 50 years, whatever it is, their big anniversary. So here's one I thought was very interesting. It's Indigenizing and Decolonizing Sexuality Studies. Featuring Daniel Heath Justice, who is chair of the First Nation Studies program, and Sarah Biscara-Dilly, who's an independent comic artist. This keynote presentation brings together artistic, academic, and queer two-spirited perspectives to decolonizing sexuality studies. I don't know what that means. Okay, how about this one here? This one you'll like. Objects of Analysis in Women's, Gender, and Sexuality Studies. In this plenary talk, Robin Weigman focuses on the institutionalization of feminism, queer and sexuality studies in the academy, and examines the role of affect in constituting identity as an academic object of study. Sorry I missed that one. Now, if you didn't like those two, this one is a surefire hit. The Vancouver Area Network of Drug Users is At the Edge. That's the name. In this session, members of the Vancouver Area Network of Drug Users question the role of academic research for grassroots organizations, interrogate the promise of non-user-based activism, and problematize, I love that word, problematize the assumption that more social services necessarily liberate the drug-using population. You problematize the assumption. Do you know what they're talking about? Can you understand this stuff? This is what's going on in our university. People pay money for this. Yeah, our taxpayer dollars go for this. I mean, it's really quite amazing. I had to share that with you because Terry couldn't help himself but say he couldn't be bothered to go to any of it. That's just 3. If you look at the whole list, there were like 20 different courses in Victoria, and they're all like that. Okay, so it gets to tonight's topic. I've worked with Bob Plamondon for many, many months, a couple of years now, on the Free Thinking Film Society. Bob's a huge supporter of what we do, right from when we started 5-6 years ago. If you don't know Bob, Bob writes regularly for the Ottawa Citizen, a whole variety of op-eds on local politics, federal politics, you name it. Bob's written several books. We've been lucky enough to sell his books on the Conservative Party at our festival and our events because Bob was really, really nice to him and donated some books to us. When Bob first came to me and said, well, I'm about to publish this new book on Trudeau, I knew I had to have an event. It's a natural for us. This is exactly what we live for, this kind of book. And Bob gave me a copy of the book last week to read for tonight, and it's a great, great read, and I strongly urge everybody, if you haven't bought 2 copies, buy one for a friend, for a family member. It makes a great Christmas gift. The Liberals that you know will love it. And I'm serious, this is stuff that they should read. This is not a polemic, it's just history, and people should be aware of some of their own history rather than the myths that are around here. So please welcome tonight my good friend Bob Plamondon.